Welcome back once again to our last game of the night. It is the second game of the two-game series of NiP going up against Team Empire. I'm your host for the English live stream, Toby1. Let's go into our draft. It's already underway with Team Empire coming in with a one-map advantage. What is that? Is that CS terms right now? A one-round advantage so far is going the way of Team Empire. NiP played really, really well, but Team Empire, they just kept finding the openings. Their pick-off lineup worked a lot better. As I was saying during the last game as well, the way the drafts were done, it was all about who could find the right openings. Everyone had their different ways to get them. Ninjas in Pajamas found them one time, then Empire found them another. It just kept going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And that's how much damage you can pump out during the middle of the fight. And that's when someone like a Troll Warlord really just helps your team out so much more by being able to amplify up your heroes by just getting them to attack even faster and faster. You had really good burst damage. And that's another reason too why Team Empire have been running Yoki as this SK multiple times, because they realized that having that second initiator and also the great teamfight damage, it's just too good to pass up. And when you have it in combination with like SK, VS, and Lina, you got three fantastic stuns, three fantastic controls, and you got all your damage you're looking for from the Templar Assassin as well as Troll combination. Because TA, huge negative armor, VS obviously combines with that, and then you got all your attack speed increases just left, right, and center. So, yeah. It's nice. It's a great combo for them. This time around, Team Empire have to go for a different style of combo. As the Juggernaut as well as the Ancient Apparition will be their heroes of choice. Juggernaut, obviously a fantastic hero in kind of any game. Like, if we go back 6-9 months ago, he was used primarily for the pushing power, using healing ward, and we had these push strats. Then our level 1 refreshing regeneration, or sorry, tier 1 tower refresh regenerate, backdoor regenerate. No! Stop for a moment. And now talk properly. The level that, no, even then, stop it. The tier 1 tower refresh of fortification change that came out stopped that from happening. It stopped all the big pushes and everything became a little bit harder. But it is still viable to do such things. The teams just don't really see the big investment because the towers aren't worth as much. You get more from finding kills, so you go for more of a gank-orientated lineup, or you get to a point where you can do a little bit of chip damage onto the tier 1 towers and you slowly bring them down. We saw that multiple times tonight, in fact, with the trolls being picked up, where you have this chip damage into a tower, someone attacks another lane, then just leaves the troll or 1 or 2 heroes to just extra to bring down that tower. So you do it that way, and then you can look to your tier 2 towers. So you don't just try and force straight down the lane, picking up Lashraks and Jakiros and heroes like this. It doesn't work that way anymore. You get into a point where you're able to... It's kind of why I like the Luna pickup that NiP do run, which I'm just going to flag right now could be a possibility when you get a VS as well. Because you get this aura stack and you get the perfect timing push. So everyone just gets together around 15 minutes and you just take out tier 1, tier 2, move to another lane, take out tier 1, tier 2. And you know that your team fight is just so vastly superior that there's no team that would be able to fight into you.
Ten seconds remaining.
Alright, so Team Empire with the Morphling, Lion, AA, and Jugger.
5 seconds remaining.
It's going to be a solo mid-Morphling with a Juggernaut up on the top. Unless they're considering running an aggro tri-lane with the Juggernaut, AA, as well as Lion, but I highly doubt that. Especially when Ninja's Pajamas haven't picked up their second support hero yet. Because they could just look at their other combination to go with the VS. You got a Clockwork for the off-lane. We are going to go with the Lina again.
Team Empire.
I didn't see a problem with this. Catching up Morphling before he's able to Strength Morph. You kind of want to do that instead of just having the Morphling sitting there, Strength Morphing himself up, and then you keep pumping in damage and you realize you're not getting any real advantage up against him, and he's just buying time and hopefully maintaining enough of a mana pool he's capable of waveforming away. Finton inside the chat
10
might have got it
seconds
right.
remaining.
I might have been thinking about cosplay, boys, and getting
Team
myself
Empire's
distracted.
Turn to pick.
Can you blame me? Happy birthday, Elodia, by the way. Happy birthday. If you didn't see the picture, go to Toby1Dota on Twitter and Facebook. For me, it's my favorite picture of her. Alright, Team Empire. Last pickup, I can't believe they banned out techies. Like, just because it's a douche move to ban out our techies. I mean, so good. I'd like to see an NiP techies. But I'm still feeling
5
that
seconds remaining.
that Era's Luna would be a really nice selection here. Synergizes nicely with the Troll
Reserve
Warlord.
time.
Needs to make sure they get to the BKB, but more importantly, it's going to add pressure to that bottom lane to force down the buildings and get some kind of answer from Team Empire, as opposed to just letting Morphling sitting up on the top lane farming, even feeling confident enough just to get like a hand of Midas. Like, some people are actually saying it could be a Morph off lane. I wouldn't be as certain about that. The Morph off lane, it kind of sits in the same bag as the Morph support, where it's just greedy. Like, you need to make sure, like, if you're going to run a Morph off lane, like, where's your initiation going to come from? It has to then come from Lion with a Blink Dagger. That's the only way it's really going to fly. And I'm not going to count a Blink Dagger into an Omni Slash as an early game initiation. And the Ancient Apparition Ultimate still needs to set up and control to make that work. So, no, I'm still going to flag the fact there should be a Morphling in the mid, the Juggernaut, and the safe. Yoki could, like, he could pick something else. Fine, they could do that. They could still run their SK. Morphling in mid, SK on the off lane. No reason why they can't, because the Clockwork is, no, with an SK up against a Clockwork, it's always dangerous, because you think you're safe inside a Sandstorm, and all of a sudden there's this quick, short-range initiation. Hilariously enough, like, I can't believe Sniper even bypassed the first two.
Storm Spirit.
We get Storm Spirit.
Radiant team pick.
Again, another lineup from Ninjas in Pajamas without silencers. And we get an Enigma core. Alright, I'm cool with this. Actually, wait, hold the phone. Yes. Yes, the phone is held. It's an Enigma core. It's limp. Actually, no, it's a Lena core. They're gonna run a Lena core here. Up against the mid, Resolution. Because Limp was their Brewmaster player from the last game. He did play in the mid, but Era just had a better matchup in the mid with the SF, hence I think that was the reason they put him there. But I kind of want to see Era go to the safe lane, and this one is that Troll Warlord.
Prepare for battle.
And then you can run the... Oh no, they switched it. They switched it. No, they haven't. What? Toby, get off it. Limp is still on the Lena. I was waiting for Limp to switch over to the Enigma is what was going on in my head, but it didn't happen. Empire looking for a level 1 fight. With Chilling Touch, sure, why not? Static Gremlins will give you the vision, a Morphling waveform, better reposition. You got Spin from Juggernaut, which means the VS stun can't really be used there. They do have a nice aggressive Observer Ward already down. So the Vision line, that's where it cuts currently for the Radiant side. And where Clockwork is, they'll see him arrive. So the smoke's going to break, the line not going to get in range for the Clockwork. And everyone else from NiP will back up. They do throw the Sentry Ward down, and they reveal the fact there is the Observer Ward up on the high ground. So Empire should really come back to deal with this one. At the same time, Era and Clockwork, they also want to move up. Alright, so dewarding. Don't want to miss uphill. They're going to try and contest this. The stun, Lion out of position. The perfect cogs. That is wonderful right there. Giving first blood to NiP. At least Empire will get rid of this ward.
This one's gonna be
But the Clockwork cogs after the VS stun. No other way to control them. Empire will be able to block up some of the camps, so they've taken out this little sucker, this little sucker, and this little sucker. So there's no way for Enigma to stay in close. And the Observer Ward's also down here. Downside is just, well, where are these sentries? I'll go to everyone's vision. We don't have any sentries being purchased yet. The Courier might. We got conversions taken from the top lane to give Clockwork the advantage. If he cog blocks right now, loses the range creep, this is going to guarantee that the creep wave is going to push underneath this tier 1 tower, which means just from this early play, the Clockwork should be able to gain level 2. You have the aggressive Observer Ward sitting in the lane, so always on the flank, could potentially harass him out, but it'll be pretty difficult. While Yoki, looks like chat was right. It's going to be an off-lane Morphling into the hands of Yoki. Must have been something I missed before in my little bit of research notes. Kind of actually just want to double check how long ago did Yoki last play. Whoops, sorry, that's the wrong click. Yoki play that Morphling. Are we also hunting for bottles? I think we're hunting for bottles. And the chat did well. Yoki hasn't played a Morphling in a very long time. In fact, I've got my records on the side dating back to the 25th of February, and I don't have a single Morphling game listed there. So chat reads it perfectly. I don't know if that's also pulling it from someone else's strat. And some people would also realize, like, I did as much groundwork on these teams as I possibly could before I came back for this cast. But I have been away from Dota for a little bit, just for a couple of days. Yogi's going to move over and find the Enigma. Not worth the waveform, but he might get a little bit of trouble, because if he does waveform, there's your wave of terror, in fact. But there's a magic missile available, going to be triggered. No Malefice leveled up here for the Enigma. The waveform down, there's still a lot of physical damage with the Boots first Vengeful Spirit. Yogi runs away a little bit further, but the wave of terror in 6 seconds time. He strength morphs as much as he can to give himself 99 life points, and that will ensure the fact he will survive. And Resolution, not a healthy man either. As Limp tries to play this solo mid laner. Kind of love the way that works too, because I'm a huge fan of the way God plays his solo mid laner. Well, Lower Dance, you're on the real wrong side of the tracks. They could block him in here. They're still being the first blood. Hey! Juked it through the trees. There's still 365 movement speed though on Clockwork. All he's got to do it. Wait, why? Oh, because he didn't get Battery Assault. He went Rocket first. If he had Battery Assault, he could just cogged him Battery Assault and just try to beat the crap out of him that way. Yeah, but the reason why I just love the solo mid laner is the fact that you can do things like this. I was mentioning this before. In fact, doing things like that. You got this surprise burst damage that can come out of absolutely nowhere, and it's just because the Light Strike Array, you don't want to dodge it every single time. This is what I was saying, I think back in game number 1. And I don't think it was even of this matchup. Actually, no, it wasn't this matchup. It was during the draft of game number 1, where I was talking about the fact with Ezelina, or well, it was the SF, which I thought could potentially go up against him in the lane. Okay, they're gonna bait out. Nope. I thought they might just try and bait the waveform, but there's only one magic missile really left here, so best not to. Especially if you can wait another couple of seconds and you'll have both Wave of Terror as well as the magic missile, which means then there's kill potential here for Seal Kid. Yeah. But you're never going to dodge it as the mid laner every single time. You just think, oh, Light Strike Array, he's starting the animation, but is he really going to just follow through with it? And when he does, he gets the hit. And because you've also been going solo mid the entire time, you're already going to get him up at level 6. And with the extra point up at a Fiery Soul, you in fact do some good physical DPS. Troll doesn't have his level 6 just yet, but Hero will eventually get there. And when he's got that, then Limp becomes even more powerful. And there's level 6. All he needs is a little bit of chip damage to Resolution, who doesn't have his bottle with him. In fact, Limp, I think, wants to go for the top rune, the cogs, down into Battery Assault, and Line. It's a level 1 Line, and Limp, Laguna, and then extra attacks. It's going to be the Rocker from Clockwork getting him a kill. So really good levels because of this. Sure, the top rune was taken, but it's still a 3-0 in favor of NiP. And getting experience into that Clockwork is also critically important. One of those things which Blitz and I were talking about during the first series, when we were talking about potentially a Clockwork running as the off lane, as opposed to a hero that shall not be named running on that off lane. Because you're able to get a very quick level 6, you have more of an impact across the map, and that's where you can find those ganks on either mid or whatever lane is being more successful.
Radiant's middle
If it's going to be
tower
on
is
top,
under
that's
attack.
fine. Just rotate your other players up. But if it's on the off lane, you feel it's doing too much, then hey, you also do it. Yoki played Morphling early today against 4ASC. Oh, so he must have. Oh, he done it in the. Oh, really? Okay, yes. There's a gap. There's a gap, and that would also explain why I didn't see it. Middle lane, smoke gank, Resolution. He already used his static remnant, so there's not even a dodge. They push him back with a cogs and perfectly into the Light Strike Array. Nipper running this rotation beautifully. I love it. I absolutely love it. And that timing, it couldn't have got any worse for a Storm Spirit. It's like, maybe I could use Static Remnant to dodge. Wait, what am I? No, I already used it inside the
Dyer's
lane.
middle tower is
And they got
under
so
attack.
close. We're here in nighttime. The vision wasn't great. Yeah, smoke and break, but who gives a crap? And Seal Kid Observer ward, and he scouts out Yoki. Sees the fact that he came out of the tree line. I don't know if this observer ward from the dire side. No, it wouldn't have seen the VS. But they are still realizing this camp is blocked up for the full 6-minute duration, which means they know it's an observer ward. Yoki, rune gets stolen. I think he really wants to go into this battle. In fact, he really does not want to go into this battle. Because all it would take is just a well-placed rocket from the Clockwork. It's only level 1 though, so maybe it wouldn't be as great. Say a well-placed rocket, coming from halfway across the map, yeah, that'd be a superbly placed rocket to connect with the magic missile, and there would have been enough damage for the VS to find the kill. Laguna plays back off cooldown, so Resolution should be very careful about this. He does have a defensive observer ward up. In fact, we get an aggressive observer ward down by Sealkey. Look at the observer ward placing. 2 obs committed by Empire to watch the top river entry, but there's no sentries here at all. Top lane Clockwork should be dead. Hex, Omni Slash, they commit everything to make sure there's no bad result, there's no mistakes. It's just a quick shutdown, that Clockwork. They don't want him hitting level 6. That would cause so many problems for every single lane. Because then you can just have the Enigma set up on the top lane. He's already got high enough levels. He'll be perfectly alright there. But NiP do the better choice. Don't send him up towards the top lane. Let him work with Era. Converts his own creeps, but they're going to attack into the tier 1 tower and force some level of rotation out from Empire off the top lane. When you commit 2 support heroes from Empire to kill off the clock on the top, then you realize how many players are not in the bottom lane. And here comes the first TP. It's the Morphling coming in, but Yoki can't really do much. Like, he's not going to grab the creep wave. You've got a huge army of conversions here, which will keep being created too. Actually, almost prefer to see the Enigma take out this tree line. Just throw the Midnight Pulse down, similarly covering the back part of the tower. He's got Soul Rings, so he's got a crap ton of mana. And if he gets himself in range for a Maleficus and into the black hole, they get themselves a guaranteed kill. Even with the strength morph from the Morphling, I think Yoki would still be running the risk of death. And in fact, he waveformed himself away. They got the Maleficus, they didn't get into the black hole. They tried with the range whirling axe to get the slow. And this one you back up. You've already forced the rotations, that's what you want. Resolution, okay, that's already in Courier. The Storm Spirit will be able to bottle up that haste rune. And then just zips himself away. But you force the rotation, that's all they really wanted. Silence farming up inside the jungle. You got a low Ardent that they're trying to give more space to on this top, and instantly Clockwork knows he can capitalize on this situation. Get up close. He's got level 3 battery assault. All he's got to do is just get one. Okay. Resolution. It's not going to work when you're up against Laguna Blade and you keep feeding yourself over when you're a solo mid. If this Clockwork can hit level 6, then Lion can't do what he's doing right now. And he'll hit level 6 before Lion will. Which means there's no Finger of Death the Clockwork has to deal with. And even if he does, the Clockwork's got enough life points that he'll survive. And there's that level 6. Watch the Clockwork. Just try and so the lane action is here. And he wants to basically swing out from either side. And instead of doing that, that was a little bit more obvious. When you come down, you try and go for a hook shot up from the river. The only thing you're relying on then is the fact that the low Ardent has just no vision of you. Through the first hook shot, and now there's not enough mana to follow up. Top lane, fake Storm Spirit's going to follow up into him. With the Hex as well, they control the Clockwork perfectly. So, welcome back to the lane, Resolution.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Alright, so 10-minute rune will be the next battle. Storm Spirit needs to keep getting these as well. Because every time it gets an action rune, like a haste rune, even, in fact, any rune apart from Bounty is wonderful for a Storm Spirit.
Dire's middle tower.
Are they going to fight this one? Yoki just waveforms away, not a problem. No, he gets a Bounty. Because the regen rune lets Storm Spirit jump wherever the hell he wants. He doesn't have a great mana pool, so he can't utilize that very well right now. But with the double damage rune, that increases damage when you jump in, you get the pullback. With the Overload, which is heavily leveled up by Resolution here, you get a very large amount of damage that lets you get the kill and then move out again. And if it's a haste rune, you just keep chasing him. Don't require ball lightning as much, so you can use more of the vortexes as well as static remnants to ensure kills. So all these things work nicely for you. Bottom lane, a little bit of a battle now onto Era. As support has come in. It's going to be the Lina. And the Black Hole just controlled the Juggernaut. The Ice Blast will be coming in, so, well, he's not going to get anything with it. Sarm will end up dropping. So the Juggernaut for the Troll Warlord. The Black Hole was committed, the Laguna Blade was not. And Always Gonna Fly is the one with his days numbered. Resolution's gonna try and slow him down, and he's denying himself up to the neutrals. He's gonna have time to do it. And then, well, Resolution might be sacrificing himself, but yes, needs to get this done. Resolution, he's out of jumps. Malphus bought the time for the ultimate to come out. The Laguna Blade, the attack with a Wave of Terror will get the kill. Oh, Empire, Empire, Empire.
Dire's top tower is under
I want to
attack.
see the Storm Spirit. Okay, what is going on with my TFAT recap? It doesn't want to recap Jack.
Dire's top tower is under
They
attack.
committed so heavily to get the kill on the bottom lane. When you get the initial 1-for-1 trade-off, you think, ah, crap. But at least we got through Black Hole. And the Ancient Apparition denied himself. That was nicely done by Always Wanna Fly. It was the only real option. But if he was going to succeed in that anyway, why was the Storm Spirit there? You have Resolution move in, and it could have just been because he thought, oh, well, maybe it was time to fight. Like, you throw out the set of Grandman, he gives the vision, and all of a sudden, he also feels he can survive. But he was able to get, like, 4 jumps off before eventually he got stunned, but he wasn't ready. Like, he still had 1 more jump to get back down the hill. And that's where his confidence, I think, was. But the problem was, when the Malphus hit, the magic missile was at the exact timing.
Radiant's top tower is
And
under
that meant he
attack.
couldn't keep the jump going, and with the burst damage from the Lina, with the fresh level 2, like, if he also didn't hit that level 11, if Lina wasn't involved in the fights on the bottom, she wouldn't have got level 2 Laguna Blade, and it may not have been enough damage to finish off Resolution in the mid. So everything just went right for NiP. As far as the overall game goes, they're looking pretty damn good. 5k in the net worth, 4k in the experience, a little bit of a dip,
Radiant's
but
top
that's
tower
because
is
the
under
fights just
attack.
went a little bit both ways. But that's to be expected. Clockwork, visible. He came in range of the tower.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Ancient Apparition was 1 Laguna Blade away
Dire's
from
middle
death.
tower is under attack.
Once that slave connects,
Dire's
I'm fairly
structures
certain.
are fortified.
Alright, what do we got? We got 320 as well as 675. Yeah, he's dead off that. 100% dead. Ice Blast's gonna come, Morphling. The Ice Blast's in a little bit more of a weird position, so he doesn't get the initial damage, just the chill effect.
Dire's
And they're
middle
using the
tower is
conversion
under
to tank
attack.
up Roshan. Obviously with Enigma you can do this a lot earlier, but you've already got the Helm of the Dominator over on Era, so NiP have no troubles going for this. And they keep the conversions alive. And nicely microed as well. Apart from the fact they're locking themselves in the front of the pit. Ancient Apparition, Lina, Yule Scepter is being completed. So they take Roshan, and they get the kill over on AA. No Laguna Blade required. He only needs to get the Light Strike Array off and the Slave, and then he had more than enough damage. The Troll lent his ultimate, in fact. But he was doing that also to finish up Roshan. But this means the mid tower is gone. And with the Yule Scepter over on the Lina, she moves up for the 14-minute rune, so Storm Spirit can't control that. It's only going to be a bounty, but that's
Dire's
fine.
middle tower is under attack.
And with the Yule Scepter as well, if you get the timing right from the Lina, potentially you could also waste the Omni Slash.
Dire's middle
Oh, whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoops. Enigma running in with a haste rune. He had the position right. He was only a fraction of a second too late. Maybe not realizing that Resolution had 1 more jump in him. Now Yoki, Yule Scepter, Light Strike Array's got to connect, and there it is. Strength Morph not coming. Laguna Blade. As I said, even if you do start your Strength Morph, that Laguna Blade's going to kill you straight away. And with a Blink Dagger from Limp, he's always going to be that initiator. The Aggressive Observer Ward went down. Always Wanna Fly was attempting to deward this. And now he'll have his own dewarded. And in fact, he'll die. The Battle Trance Troll Warlord just turns on. Top lane Clockwork. Nice cogs. Pushing back Sun. He's still going to go onto the Omni Slash. He jumps around the creep wave and actually over towards the Vengeful Spirit. Into that spin. They just need to get that magic missile. And Seal Kitty staying in range. They move into trees. There's the blink. Midnight Pulse cleans up the tree line. Not so they don't need the Light Strike Array, but the Slave from Lina will allow him to pick up a double kill. The first one was on the bottom lane of the Ancient Apparition. And now the Juggernaut up on top. Team Empire were playing such a great initiation game in the first game of this series, and now everything's gone to blat.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Even with missed ultimates from NiP, that Enigma Black Hole, they're just not, they're not finding their balance. They're not finding like their hero timings either. You run an off-lane Morphling. What is he really giving to this fight? He comes in, he doesn't really do a hell of a lot of damage. There's no great control coming from him. You can't really look for a split push. Right now, it might actually be better to switch him into the way the support Morphling is run and just have mass strength Morphing up and use him for his adaptive strike only. Make the Ancient Apparition or the Lion more of a call. The Lion does have a Blink Dagger. Can't use Tranquil Boost before he's really independent. Clockwork. Hookshot Lime. The Rocket will give him the vision over on Yoki, but he doesn't want to hook shot onto a Morphling because that's not the way he's going to get a kill. TP. That was pretty close. That was really close.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
With the blink in from the Lina and the hook shot.
Are fortified.
NiP were playing the odds right then. So you hook shot up a little bit too high. You Lion Strike Array a little bit too low, and then all of a sudden you just TPs out in the last spot. They literally guessed wrong. I don't know if literally is even having to be used there. They just guessed wrong on both fronts, but only missed by an inch. Alright, up to mid. Clockwork, no hookshot available. Ancient Apparition coming down to do some warning behind him. There's no Radiant Observer was looking for this, but with the Rocket, they see the AA.
Dire's middle tower
There's no hookshot, so they can't jump it, but this isn't all about just jumping. What they want to do is slowly push out these tier 2 towers. And if someone wants to try and fight them, let them go ahead. Your Black Hole's off cooldown, 3 seconds time effect. NiP didn't want to take the fight right now. Empire don't either. They're split pushing now. Someone's pushing out top. You got Resolution pushing at the bottom. He again will just zip himself away as they try and chase him. Clockwork. Wow, that's a long jump up. Resolution burns all of his mana. Really utilizing that Soul Ring nicely too. Yeah, but the tier 2 tower drops. All NiP wanted was for Empire to engage on them as the tower was dropping low, because that's when all their ultimates would come back off cooldown. With a nice little Observer Ward left behind. This Observer Ward is a lot better than what it normally would be, because the Midnight Pulse has been used. Always when a fly is dead. Malith for stun. He's even going to steal the Bounty Rune off him and run out of range. Make Charge is also available, so there's no way Always when a fly can even do any kind of damage to slow it down. With the Troll Warlord taking that kill, he's insanely close to his SMY, 18 minutes in, as they farm up this Ancient stack. Also won't take him that long. Got the extra damage. Looks like, well, hello bottom lane. Yeah, that TP doesn't have to happen. Clockwork's already killed off Storm Spirit. How in hell did that happen? Like, Battery Assault could stop you from jumping for a bit with a Blade Mail. Maybe he killed himself with a Static Remnant. It's a little bit of overcommitment. The Clockwork definitely hook-shot it in. But he would have had to catch the Storm Spirit, like, after triggering Soul Ring and with no bottle charges. I'm kind of sad I missed that. Yeah, put your little photo things up in the chat, people. Oh my god, camera. Sorry, I paid off. Ice Blast, looking for the defense on bottom. NiP doesn't have to come yet. They've only got 3 TPs. Both Era as well as Seal Kit are currently missing them. Is that what's coming on the courier? Well, at least one of them is there for Seal Kit. But Era's TPing back. They're bringing a lot of people back. Limp's already here. Remember, he's got this Blink Dagger off cooldown. 7 seconds from now, Midnight Pulse lets him cut through the tree line silent. Omnic Slash is available. He's got a Creep Wave. The Creep Wave actually followed them up, so this isn't really an easy kill. He's actually got no other choice but to ulti. But Lina beat him to the punch. They take out the Healing Ward, Light Strike Array. Limp, in fact, attacking that way means he can't use a Light Strike Array. It doesn't really matter, especially when they also catch out the Morphling. There's your hookshot into the Battery Assault. He'll Adaptive Strike him back, but the VS swaps him up. The Strength Morph, well, he's got no mana, so 1 charges. It's enough for a waveform up, and then that little creep, the one that was stolen from the Dice, had to pull him up. Yoki, hello to Clockwork Rocket. 6 seconds. Limp's trying to catch up to him as well. He's getting bottle charges from Resolution. A Clockwork, he doesn't really want to give up on this fully, but he has to. There's no choice. Like, if he connected again onto Yoki, I don't think, yeah, it's still not enough. He has 600 life points in that Rocket, even at level 4. With 2 of them, it's not enough to get through all that life, even if he gets the second one as they walk back. Obviously taking into account the regeneration he'll have as he moves back too. Missing the stun. He's taking the mech over on the Enigma, even though the Ice Blast connected. They wouldn't have been able to get the kill fast enough for Empire unless the Omni Slash came out from the Juggernaut. It's also a critical thing that they wanted to find that kill. Mainly because this Blink Dagger is almost done for the Enigma. I'm fairly certain that's the item he's going for next. By the way, convert the catapult. So much more efficient. Push on the tier 2 tower. Midnight Pulse goes down. Hello, Yoki. Now Say's got those extra points up. Silent also getting scouted out by the illusions of Delina, who come up again. Still keeping those tabs. And the tier 2 tower is just above deny range. And this is the point they just back out of there. There's no reason for NiP to fight. Economically, they are a lot more stable. Because they're also able to run the Enigma inside the jungle. It's Empire who are the ones who are forced to try and engage. But you're trying to engage before you've got enough control abilities up and running. You rely heavily on the Lion getting the first Hex off. If he gets the Hex off into the stun, you find yourself a kill. Storm Spirit, long jump, a low Ardance, actually got himself stuck here. They adaptive strike, Resolution burned every inch of his mana for that. The Lion also cannot get free yet. They cut him free with the Quelling Blade. It was still smoked up, so there was no reveal. In fact, there's no Observer Ward there to reveal it anyway.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Did they smoke on top of the ward? Maybe I missed that. Short-term memory is lost. Either way. Smoke gang from Team Empire. Very unsuccessful.
Coming.
And now it's Empire who are trying to lay claim towards the Dire jungle. 4 staff? If they got the... No. Not the full 4 staff yet. There might be a way to try and isolate them.
Flares here.
If Juggernaut tries to go for the Omni Slash, just split yourself up. You might take the brunt of the damage, or you can just force dive yourself close to your teammate so you can share the load. And this Juggernaut, well, his damage output is not too bad. He's still the highest net worth over on the Dire side. With Manta, Mask of Madness, 22 minutes in. It could be a lot worse for him. The Mana's also really effective up against... Way! That's never going to work. Support sitting behind, they're going to jump in. There's a Finger of Death to ensure the kill, but the Mech Charge, he doesn't get it off. But Alina, Fire Strike Array, she's got her own Laguna Blade. Not enough damage to kill the Juggernaut. Having a mana sucked out, but in comes Era. The Omni Slash will go. They need to share the load again, and Silent, the Light Strike Array will connect. The Lina is still going to drop for this one. And Era gets the first hit bash into the Morphling. He already slowed him up. Morphling, Waveform, TP's out. The Rocket reveals Hawkshot. Near the guy to start with. You knew the line. You knew the line. You didn't have to actually throw the Rocket. Because the Waveform gives you a direct line, so you didn't need the perfect vision. You would assume he was TPing out anyway. So it should have just been a straight hook shot, and then the Morphling would have dropped. Either way, now it's a 2-for-1 trade-off. The Lina does drop. And that slows her down. She's getting very close to an incredibly early Aghanim Scepter. For someone who's 10-2-4, no wonder it's so quick. I look at Roshan's and Rocket flew his way, but I don't think Empire could even do that. Seal Kid, that's something Empire could try and do, but Resolution down in mana again. The Wave of Terror, Lion so low on armor. They go to Yoki as well. Malphus and Midnight Pulse. He can't wave from away in time. That's that control from Era. He does use a 10-second BKB charge for that. But with both Lion as well as Morphling down, they've lost any kind of like the only jump they've got is the Storm Spirit. And he was already so low on mana, they just run in and take Roshan. And Roshan is dead. Aegis him all into the hands of the Lina. She's the most fragile and putting herself at the highest risk when she blinks in for the initial Yule Scepter. And you got a BKB over on a Troll Warlord and a huge amount of miss percent chances when you've got a Waveform, Morphling. What's he going to do? Nothing. Storm Spirit jumps in. He's still heavily reliant on that Orchid doing the work. And you got a Juggernaut with an Omni Slash, which is the only major form of damage coming out from Empire at the moment. Interesting to see too if the Troll Warlord. He got a BKB, so he won't care as much about that Orchid. Just doesn't have an easy way of getting rid of it. But in this game, he's not dealing with miss percent chance. He's not up against a Phantom Assassin or anything like that, so his item choice... Okay, he's going to be more aggressive. He goes for a Blink Dagger instead. Lets him keep up with his other teammates, which are also jumping in. The Clock, the Lina, the Enigma. They've all got repositioners, and the VS also has his Blink. There's no Black Hole available. Okay, just convert and start farming, but look at Era's movement speed. with those phase boots. Clockwork is going to hook shot in. Moves up a little bit further, so he pushes them back down again into the Eul Scepter, and then Light Strike Array, making sure he also just waveform himself up. With the cogs, they would have worked against them. Because the cogs were blocking off the river, and Morphling just wanted to waveform up this direction.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So without the Eul Scepter control, they wouldn't have ensured the kill. Unless Troll got a bash, but you're not going to rely on RNG for that. And instead, bad thing, just Eul Scepter into Light Strike Array. Play the timing. You do have that 4-staff now down the Clockwork. And Resolution's waiting for just a hunt on the top, but he can't find anything. And they do see bottom, and that's where they want to go. They know there's not a lot of support here with Dire Observer on the side. Seal Kid already TPing out. Clockwork now going to start his, and they're too far away. They didn't actually have vision of where he was TPing, so the Ice Blast comes in, but it's already too late. So they rotate their heroes to try and find kills. The Storm Spirit doesn't find one up in the secret shop. And now it's going to be always going to fly to die. Or is it? Nope. Nope, it's not. One hole's a goal. Morphling waveformed in to do the adaptive strike to cancel the black hole. But by that point it was already too late, and if he wasn't carefully waveformed into the black hole, it would be hilarious. Well, this tier 2 tower is practically forfeit. I was talking about this kind of stuff previously with Lina. She's just so great at clearing up creep waves. The second it arrives, she'll just Light Strike Array and slave it. And that just means your push up to the high ground so much better. Because you've also got your Fiery Soul buff up that you get from this, so you take out the towers as well. So if she just turns and nukes the wave, I won't be surprised. Looks like on top lane, the Lion's going to get picked off. He tried to intercept the creep wave. And she just slaves instead, that's fine. TP to bottom lane. Whoop, 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 whoop. Omnislash still there for Silent. They don't want to battle that at all. While Era is powerful, there's no reason to go one-on-one up against an Omnislash. When you're isolated from your creep wave, it's a risk you just don't need to take. NiP is so far ahead in this map. So far ahead.
Double damage!
Era is still isolated slightly. Silent. She just walks into Mana Cell and then TP out. But he slows down the creep wave, but what's he really done? Like, took out one creep, yay. Not something you want to write home about. Okay, maybe 2 creeps. Well, there's 3 creeps, 5 creeps. Yeah, do your math. 2 missing. That doesn't really matter. Because Lina just, like, the pushing power that comes out from Era, Lina, Enigma, everyone really, is just so big. And the BKB being built by Enigma too. Then there's nothing that can stop him. They don't have anything that goes through BKB. Not what's going to stop the Enigma. So, not unless they can jump in beforehand, then they have the chance. But that means a completely unobstructed Blink BKB black hole. Someone dies tonight. Guaranteed the next fight. Era, Orchid, bottom tower, still kill off by the catapult. They will be able to kill off the Troll Warlord, committing the Finger of Death. While Silent was also being sunned up, Limp doesn't want to be part of this. 2 seconds until he can blink. Silent wants to go for the Omnislash. Nice 4-staff down. That's from the Vengeful Spirit buying him the space, and Silent, yeah, you're not coming up there. The black hole might be down, but that Lina still triggers, pumps out a hell of a lot of damage. The Aegis Maul is now going to also be reclaimed on her. And we'll see her next choice of item. Scythe of Vice, I think, is probably going to be it. Like, you're increasing your mana pool, yay, yay, yay. But it's for the Storm Spirit. He's going a Bloodstone build, so there's no BKB on this Storm Spirit, so no immunity. And even if there was, the Scythe of Vice would still be perfect. The Scythe is the greatest disabler you can get as far as an item goes. That means you can keep attacking in. Without having to wait for him to hit the ground like she has to for the Eul Scepter. Bottom tower, Enigma's going to look for a denial. Not possible. He's too sluggish on his attack. So finally Empire do manage to bring off, kill off this bottom tower. They're getting something back across the map. Mainly map control. They weren't holding much of that as it was. With an aggressive ward behind. What else have we got? We've got... Nope, that's actually it. I was looking for more wards. There we go. There's one on the bottom. One here, one there, and one there. So 3 wards for the Dire side. Everything's focused on the bottom, which means they don't really have a lot of control over their own jungle as well. I don't know if I'm as much of a fan of that then. See your kid? That's a fake one. That's the Morphling replicate. But they set it up, and Enigma starts the black hole. The Omnisash will fly in. He actually started black holing onto the Morphling, thinking it was the real one, but it wasn't. So Silent gets a double kill. Some great money to pull in. Vengeful Spirit and Enigma, well, they may not have been the juiciest kills of all. It's still enough. Over 1,000 gold coming in for that. And that means that Monkey King Bud's going to be coming up at a good time. Clockwork needs a hook shot. He can't get it. He tried. And Limp actually got himself stuck in the trees. The Vortex reveals him, but Era's coming in. Bash. Laguna. Oh, get himself created. Yep, that. Oh, that poor little range creep. Finally, Aloha dance. He has tracked down the trader. No, the trader. Oh, wait. Aloha. Aloha. Adios, amigos. Creep just hides. It's like, no! I didn't mean to turn you, master! No! Well, we can't do another pull. But the Clockwork's still down. Even when he comes back up, his hookshot's back off cooldown. But Empire still, they won't have confidence to fight this. Yeah, he got a couple of kills over on the Juggernaut, but at the same time, oh no, his Monkey King Bar is done. So you do have that true hit now, so you can battle one-on-one with Era. But Era's got a lot of stat points behind him. The Lina also does a lot of work when it comes to the fight. It's very good initiation. The Vengeful Spirit's kind of like that saving grace with the swaps, the 4-staffs. The Enigma with the blink. You're always going to give respect to that black hole when it's up. Obviously it's not, so who gives a crap right now. But you're also going to have that Aghanim Scepter for Clockwork coming in a moment. That's not real. They should know it. They've already fallen for these fake illusions from Silent multiple times. As well as the Morphling, but it's really difficult to always work it out. The Mana-style illusions are a little bit easier, but the amount of damage that a Morphling replicate takes is closer towards the truth. They're gonna jump. Hero does hit the blink dagger. He'll need the first hit bash. In fact, they're gonna swap. Where's that bash? Doesn't get it. Yule Scepter. Lina is nowhere there. Is the Yule Scepter of the Morphling. Saving himself. And now this Morphling is finally doing something as a core, but it's all he's doing is distracting and buying time. But that worked. Resolution now has Bloodstone plus the Orchid. So Empire, somehow they've actually managed to, well, not through somehow, they keep catching out NiP in these small little skirmishes, get a little bit of an advantage, go back, farm it up, and come back with the items they require to get kills. They want to have a crack at mid, but no one. That bloody range creep. Revealed itself again. Oh, well, hello, bottom lane. Clockwork to get one, but it's back over towards that bottom river. And there's your black hole. Big one as well with the Lion Strike Array. Empire, they were doing everything so well. And then the Blink BKB Enigma just jumps in and spoils their day. Hope's down the drain. And with all the players dead, apart from Morphling, it's just a push up mid. Go as quick as you possibly can and take the tier 3 tower. More if you can. Who's got buybacks? The Storm Spirit does, but he's alive in 14 seconds, so he won't want to do that. But there's no Juggernaut for 55 seconds. We're going to make a copy of the troll. So, bringing some level of forces to their side, but they're not going to keep that thing alive. It just stalls up the creep wave a little bit. Whoop, 4-star Finn goes to the battery assault. Cog's going to isolate him as well, but they need more help. Resolution jumping on the lead. The Ice Blast here perfectly for this fight. The Midnight Pulse not going to make this easy for Empire. But they have already got the first pickup, which is the Clockwork. And bailing out of here. Man, that stun lost for a long time when he got so many points up in straight. They actually did it with Yoki. They made him into more of a support Morphling with that stun. Managed to pick up the Ancient Apparition. Laguna Blade is every 50 seconds. She bought a BKB so she could stand during the fights. But these type of pickups now, like, they're down, they realize they can't breach high ground with the Juggernaut coming back up. And when the Storm Spirit bring on a battle from inside of his base, it's It's just too risky. So they move back, they take Roshan.
Fallen to the
There's the cheese into the Vengeful Spirit. The Aegis Immortal goes the way of the Lina. Is Hero actually... Yeah, he's trapped. He doesn't have a Crawling Blade, so he can't save his teammates. So can you just Light Strike? Boom. Freedom. Granted. Hashtag it. Just putting the cheese on the courier. Is that for the clockwork then? Wait, hang on. He could sell. He could actually sell the cheese and pick up it. Actually, no, can he? He's not holding it. I'm not actually 100% certain how that works. If you sell the cheese, you have to hold it as a hero and then you can get the money. Can you? A mechanic which I had never ever tried to work out. I shall after this game. Or somebody tweet me. Tweet me at W1Dota. Does the money go to the person who picked up the cheese or the person who sells the cheese? Because then potentially he could have been buying up his Aghanism straight away. Now he's short 150 gold. Sailed back to his farming. With 3.1k getting close towards, well, what does he actually look towards? You're up against Guardy, Blink Dagger, and, well, soon to be Satanic over on Era. So he could potentially go for the evasion, build into a butterfly here. Wouldn't be a bad choice. He might consider having more life points, however. With only 2k life points up against this Lina, her Laguna Blade is just tearing him apart. Like the range and damage, 900, 950. It's just so much. Blink, Finger, Era. With the Omnislice as well, that TP's not going to get there in time. There is enough swipes, and the Enigma might be regretting this. He comes in with the mech into the tree line. First Mallet for stun, Basan just triggers the BKB so he can get the kill. This is almost worth, well, there's no buyback for him. I don't think Clockwork really wants to jump in there. Lina definitely doesn't want to. She does the Aegis Immortal, but with just Clockwork and her, that damage output is not that fantastic. So Empire have a decent opening. They could take two tier 2s right now. The mid lane gets pushed out by Resolution. They take out the top. They blink it even further. Okay, that's big. They found the Clockwork out by himself. Follow up on the stun line. He's waiting as long as he possibly can. And then they munch him up. The Yulset was on the wrong target. So yeah, they will definitely take two tier 2. Empire are actually going to win this. I kind of feel right now they have the best opportunity. There's only one buyback which belongs to the Lina, but you got no Troll Clock or Enigma right now. Heroes are great with items, but only if they're alive. And the jumping from below our dance. Wait, what? He jumped in right next to the Lina, but didn't react with the Hex. Because that would have just been a quick follow-up kill into the Lina, because he has Finger of Death available. For the top tower, Yoki, long stun, and now they can just go for it. Finger it. Finger it! He's waiting for it. Now the Ice Blast. It only connects over on the Vengeful Spirit. Can you please just kill him off? He's got the Aegis Immortal, which I think is the main reason why they won't want to do it. But at the same time, you got to pop this damn thing. You take out the top racks, Empire. And now Lina jumps out. Light Strike Array off because he jumps to the Replicate. But Hero stays in the chase. Midnight Pulse. It's on cooldown. And Yoki blinks the TP out. They don't get the vision in time. Light Strike Array's in the right position, but it's already too late. Like, how long was left on that Aegis? Now, they couldn't even wait it out. Because it was take the racks. That's all it really was. It was take the racks. And it's not as though, oh, we just give a full life and mana after dropping it down. Use the Finger for something else, but you never use it for anything. You threw everything away without even burning the Aegis. Now, he gets reclaimed, but... now. Actually, sorry, in a minute. So they, in fact, NiP still have a chance to fight here. Clockwork sees Yoki. He kind of knows again, it's like not really worth it. So another 40 seconds left on this, and they're going to try and fight with it. Yoki, hook shot, battery assault. Going to be difficult to get out of this one, especially when Era starts off his attack. Very quick move away. Looks like Resolution's going to be safe. But this mid-Rax is not. Even if Lina starts to burn through a mana right now, she won't care. In fact, she should just start spamming up a little bit. Blow up the creep wave. Get that fiery soul level up a little bit faster. Alright, note the timing. The Ice Blast will be coming in. Sun doesn't want to jump in just yet. Aegis the Immortal. That looks like 5-10 seconds. And the Lina's just so low. Oh, I'm gonna laugh if she shatters. And that triggers the Aegis. Aegis gets reclaimed. No! Oh, she BKBs. Can't take any more damage. It's only a level 2 ulti, but it's the one with an Agnib's upgrade. Had she had to use the BKB charge for it. Oh, that's just the worst timing in the world. Enigma, nice Black Hole, catching out Silent, but Lina can't do anything because Resolution isolates him. And now Silent, well, he doesn't have enough. Hero came in with the BKB and the Omni Slash. They are sharing the load until they can finally dump their load onto Silent's head. The Lion will drop. Always want to fly, they're trying to reach up to him with a level 3 swap, and they're in range. And that's why I always want to fly it to go to the trees. Staying in the trees, but it's not enough. Magic Missile, they'll bring him down. Yoki, well, the buyback did just come. It's actually from the Lina instead, not from Empire. Empire do still have buybacks on the Storm and the Juggernaut. And Juggernaut will use this. They're trying to protect their mid-racks. The tier 3 tower is still going to drop. And the army conversions, they start the range racks while Era, well, he triggers the ulti and wants to take out the melee, and he's going to be successful. There's no fortification. Storm Spirit jumps in, and already the Adaptive Strike, the Midnight Pulse, Resolution burning life points away. They will at least get the kill on the Lina. She's dead for a very, very long time after the buyback. But Silent, isolated. Era needs that bash. He can't find one. There's too many fakes on the field. But they brought down the full mid-racks. They move over. And Storm Spirit, Clockwork Hook shut up. They have to go for GG push. There's no buyback for Storm Spirit. They have an 80-second time. Or are they actually going to go for top? The tier 4 towers are dying in the meantime because the damage that Empire did to the top racks of NiP. Hence NiP, I thought they might just go for, like, in. But they're going to come back and just say, alright, we've got advantage in mid. We'll push in top later. The TPs can't be cancelled. Actually, Clockwork's one was. Silent, no ultimate for him. The Cogs to give a little bit of defense. Low art dance does have an Aghanim's finger. So he can kill off that Clockwork pretty quickly, but they want to have multiple targets. Era is their primary one. They need to bring down Troll. Clockwork looks like he hookshot himself away over towards the Centaur camp. And Troll is back and safe. So when NiP avoid the Empire chase, but they have Storm and Juggernaut buybacks both on cooldown now. So all NiP have to do is wait until the Lina is up, and then they run a 5-man push through top. Let the mid take care of itself. The bottom can defend as well. In fact, NiP currently have momentum here anyway. And Enigma is starting the pressure. And this is where they want to head. Full Daedalus in as well for the Troll Warlord. So this is his big damage dealing item.
Bottom tower is
Says screw it to the, again, this Troll Warlord bypassing going in for Satanic. So NiP, this is it. Like, if they move, a smoke gank would be nice. Yeah, they got smoke over the VS. So smoke gank, catch out Empire outside the base. They do have an aggressive Observer Ward up on top. They just need one pick off, and then they can win this with their money. If you actually look, with the 2 BTs on Lina as well as Troll, all they want to do, Lina can't, but Troll can. Troll will just blink him, do as much damage as possible, die, soak up as much as possible, of course, while he does that. And then they just come for the victory. Silent, Laguna Blade so quick. And in comes Era. They've got the kill over on the Juggernaut. No buyback from him, and they isolate Resolution. This should be game right here in favor of NiP. They move up to the high ground. The follow-up's under Yoki. Omni Slash does nothing. The finger, at least with the Aghanim's, it gets split up a little bit. The Morphling will buy back, but the creep wave's coming up through the mid. They should just go straight for GG push. Team Empire did a great job in game number 1 of winning. NiP, in this game number 2, everything just seemed to go right for them. They had great initiations from the start. Their movement across the map was perfect. There was a couple of questionable holes and questionable plays coming out from NiP where they did lose out pretty badly. But at the end of the day, they still actually draw up the series, so they go 1-1 here for the D2CL. And as far as the overall standings, I'm actually going to double check my figures right now. So with this, that was NiP's first series, so they go 1-1. And as far as Empire, they've been sitting pretty up on top. Their first game they played before was up against Virtus Pro, the main squad, not Polar, if it rest in pieces. They won 2-0 on that one. So with this, Empire, they still do hold number 1 position in the D2CL with a 3-1 lead. As far as the rest of the group, it's still pretty much open season with Alliance going 1-1, Ninjas in Pajamas. We have Burden United who have their first games tomorrow night. So keep your eyes peeled out for that one. If you don't know that team, it's the new one with Sing Sing. So Sing Sing, My Nuts, Necroman, Bamboo, as well as Come With Me. So that's the 8th team, which still has yet to play a game, but they've got themselves their game up against NiP tomorrow night. We start that one at 18 CET. So if you want to tune in for a little bit of Sing Sing Dota, you can find it there, as well as, of course, the great Dota we saw from NiP tonight. And we'll follow that up with NiP versus Hellraisers is our second game of tomorrow evening. We do have some more games coming up the next day, where I believe we have Empire versus Na'Vi and VP versus Na'Vi. But I'll double check that one out. You can check out the details out at D2CL.org, or you can go to joindota.com, where you can also find all your information for everything that is Dota 2. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the live stream, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow. I'll be streaming the D2CL matches tomorrow, and I'll see you at 18 CET for those.